You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
What up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into Brown Mamba Radio. For those who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Friday to everybody. Happy Aloha Friday to everybody out there. Hopefully, you guys all enjoyed your week this week, and hopefully you guys enjoyed your week last week. And sorry if I didn't get an episode out last week. Like I say all the time, a lot of stuff got in the way, life got in the way, you know. But hopefully you didn't miss me too much, because Big Daddy V is back, and I'm going to try to get back to all of my regular scheduled programming times and all that stuff at least once a week now. So this week is going to be just a little amalgamation of everything that happened the last couple weeks or so in the wild world of sports. So it's not. I'm not going to touch on it too much because, like I said, everybody out there's already, given all the deets and all that shit about, everything that's happened. So I'm going to quickly just blow through everything and give, like always, give my unqualified opinions on them, just like everyone else has. So, before I get to that, I'm gonna go back to something I started doing last week. Where I make it a little bit more about me. So, like I mentioned at the top, I've been pretty busy lately. Just a lot of stuff. Working a lot. You know what it is. And then just some, some personal things, that kind of, that came up and I had to, take care of them and stuff like that. But everything's good. Nothing serious, nothing crazy or anything. So there's that. And then, I think I mentioned last time too, just kind of keeping my head to the grind, somewhere to the nose of the grind, so whatever, just working, keeping it low key, lately, because next week or next month, is going to be a little crazy. Got a couple Vegas trips with the boys next week. You already know how that shit goes. Vegas, baby! Vegas! So there's that. Still up in the air on whether I'm going to go to Coachella or not. So there's that. And then, just a bunch of other, a lot of stuff's happening in the month of April for your boy. So like I said, kind of cooling it down, little bit of a detox, little diet change, you know what I mean? Just to try to balance the body out, get the homeostasis going, try to balance all the chakras out and stuff like that. So there's that. What have I been fucking with lately? Just saw the latest movie from Jordan Peele, his follow-up to Get Out, titled Us. And I'm not going to spoil it here, so don't worry, but I will say that shit is fucking crazy. That shit. And the only thing I'm going to say is he just takes all the expectations that the audience, he knows what the audience is probably expecting from this movie after what he did with Get Out, and he takes those expectations and completely flips them on their heads. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And it's a really good movie. I recommend it. It's gonna be something that a lot of people are talking about. That's for damn sure. And I was mentioning this to a lot of my friends and stuff, and other people that the other thing I said talk about it. I haven't felt this not weird or whatever. I guess this what the fuck just happened after watching a big budget movie. Keep in mind, a big budget movie, not some weird art house indie movie that's supposed to designed to make you feel that way. But I haven't felt this what the hell did I just watch? What just happened after finishing a movie since I did after the first time I saw No Country for Old Men. And if you see No Country for Old Men, you'll kind of know what I mean by that. Or if you see No Country for Old Men and then you watch Us, you'll know what I mean. So that's all I'm gonna say about it. I will say it was good, very, very good. And go watch it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I highly recommend it. Go see it. I'm probably gonna go see it at least another time. But it's definitely a movie that you're gonna have to rewatch over and over and over again. So shouts to Jordan Peele. Us, the movie is very, very good. What else am I fucking with here? Oh, I'm fucking with fucking Pen 15. on Hulu. If you have not seen Pen 15, it is a really, really good show that's on Hulu. It's about these two girls who are in middle school, and it's set in like the early, I believe it's 2000 or 2001, so it's the early 2000s, and they're two best friends. They're in middle school, and it's just about them going through the middle school stuff as like two girls, going through puberty, and finding all these things out about themselves, sexually, with that obviously, and just like becoming, going from the kid to that weird kid to young adult to adult transform, like awkward, very very awkward phase that we've all been through in middle school. But the real big reason why I'm fucking with it heavy is because it's so like perfectly done. Like the details of this show are so good. They're so on point. They're just on the fucking money, because I was in middle school at the same time as this was set, and just the music is the same, the clothes are the same, the aesthetic is fucking spot on. And like I said, it was just the level of cringe that I had watching it, from the awkwardness of like reliving all those moments. And even though, like I said, it's focused on two girls, and I am obviously not a girl, they obviously have supporting characters. They have a lot of guy friends, not boyfriends, but male friends that are in the movie, or excuse me, in the show. And just being a boy at that time, they nail that look, their feelings, and just the overall aesthetic of it, the writing, everything is just so on point. It is so good. And like I said, it is just, having lived through it, and having that level of nostalgia, and remembering how it was, and that cringe feeling of reliving those awkward moments, it's just so good. So if you are like me and you were in the middle school at the same time as that, like I said, watch Pen 15. And even if you weren't, watch Pen 15. It is a really, really, really good show. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna make you cringe. They just get it. They got it down. It's a really good. Highly recommend it. What else here? What do I have done? Oh, another thing I'm fucking with big time. Another Twitter page that I've been fucking with lately. Racism Watchdog. Shout out to that good boy. If you don't know, follow Racism Watchdog on Twitter. It is a Twitter page dedicated to this. It's the joke of it, or the bit, is that it's a dog who finds these racist posts or these racist tweets and responds to them, going like woof woof or bark or grr or whatever like that. And depending on the level of racism, it's gonna be like a couple barks or a couple woofs or like a grr, or if it's like extremely racist or something like that, they max out the 140 characters on all the barks and the grrs and the woofs and all that stuff. And it's a very funny page, but also very smart, and as a way to out racism and stuff like that. So Racism Watchdog, shout out to you good boy. If I ever come across you IRL, trust me, there's a couple chicken nuggers waiting for you. So shouts to Racism Watchdog. But the biggest thing that I've been fucking with lately, and I know I'm late to the party, I apologize, but I have been fucking with The Sopranos heavy lately, like fucking heavy. In the last couple weeks or so, I've been looking for something new to watch, trying to find something to kill time and whatever. And I had a whole day off, and I was like, like I said, to find something to watch, ask for suggestions. People weren't really helping out and whatever. And then I don't even know how I came across it, but I was like, I'm gonna watch The Sopranos. And I binged the entire first season in one night, like all 13 episodes that are about, or 12 or 13 episodes, whatever it was, and that are all about an hour long each, and watched all those. And I think I can officially say that I am Italian now. So shout out to The Sopranos. It is fucking good. I'm like almost done with the second season now. Like I said, I've been caught up with a lot of work and stuff like that. I haven't been able to watch it as much as I'd like to. I'm almost done with the second season, and I know that there's about 4 more to go. So please, people out there, do not spoil it for me. If you come across me or whatever, don't spoil anything else for me. I'm trying to finish it. It's fucking good. When it came out, I was too young. My parents wouldn't let me watch it. I had heard a bunch of stuff about it, and just through the years, it just kind of, obviously there's like pop culture references to it and stuff like that, and other like Twitter jokes or whatever stuff like that come up about it. And so now they are all making sense, and all the praise that it has gotten over the years as one of, if not the best television drama of all time, I am fully on board with that. So shout out to The Sopranos. Oh, fuck, I can't wait to finish it, and I already know how it ends. You know what I mean? Or like the ending is controversial and all that stuff. So I'm just excited to go along for the ride and go follow the journey that gets to the controversial ending. So yeah, that's what I've been fucking with lately. Last thing about me, not really any crazy ER story that I have. This week, obviously crazy stuff happens, to someone who's not in the, I guess, in the medical field, have happened. But it's more of like what I will say is this is more of like a just in the last couple weeks or so, there's been a lot of like pretty like sad sad situations that were for different patients that have come in, and just real like stuff where it's like seeing them in their situations and seeing the family members, because it's with the medical field, it's not just the patient you're dealing with, you're also dealing with their family, and all that, and the patient is the only one who's sick or suffering or whatever is going on. The family does too, and you have to keep that in mind. So you're taking care of the patient directly, but you're also taking care of the family members as well, and trying to keep everything as in high spirits as possible. That's not always going to be the case, in some cases, but that's part of the job. It's something that you don't really that I know when I was in school they didn't really talk about it. They're just trying to teach you how to do the direct patient care and stuff. But the thing I do just want to say, from all that is a long way of saying, everyone out there, tell your loved ones that you love them while you can, and don't wait until it's too late. Let the people that you love and care for know that you love and care for them, while they're, whether it's while they're still around here or they're still around, to hear it and process it and feel it, or just take time out to call your parents, call your friends, text them, reach out, just say, hey, hope, thank you, I love you, all whatever, just tell them how you feel, because at a certain point, it's you don't want to look back and say, I wish I could have done that. I know that sounds super cliche and corny and all that stuff, but it's really, really true. There were just, like I said, there was just a couple of situations where that was the case, having dealt with it firsthand in this past couple of weeks. But yeah, it's just like, and then just I personally I had a real nice moment with some friends, not too, the other weekend, where, we all got together, had a bar. It was a really first really nice day of the year so far. And, we just got together, had a barbecue, we're eating, we're drinking, having a good time, just enjoying it, laughing, having fun, and just kind of, once I kind of stepped out and just kind of enjoyed just sat back and I saw everything, just saw just a lot of friends that, we all haven't been together in the same space in a while, and just having a good time, enjoying it. And, it's just one of those moments where it's like, life is good, man. Life is good. And, I just like, just individually told all my friends, like, hey man, like this is what it's all about. Like, glad we're all happy, we're healthy, we're having fun, you know what I mean? And that's like just enjoying moments like those. And it just really helped me. And then, like I said, just like literally the next day, it was a pretty sad situation with a patient and a family and all that stuff. And so it just really a lot of self-reflection on that. So take the time to tell your loved ones you love them. And like I said, don't wait for it to be too late. So that went really long. That was a lot longer than I thought. And so I will get off that soapbox and get on to the sports. Where do I start? A lot of stuff happened in the last couple of weeks. I guess I'll start with literally the biggest news coming out of Baseball, after what we thought were the two biggest contracts we've ever seen, and not just baseball, but in any sport, with Bryce Harper and Manny Machado, the Angels said, hold my motherfucking beer, and extended Mike Trout for 12 more years. And we all knew he was, whenever this happened, he was going to get some extremely large sum of money. You know, Bryce Harper got $330 million, so you knew Mike Trout was going to get more than that. I don't think anyone thought he was going to get this much. Mike Trout is going to make $430 million. Yes, that is $430 million with an M, $million over the next 12 years of his life. Mike Trout is the same age as me, and goddamn, I don't know what I would do with that much money. But then again, Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, so if anybody deserves it, it's him. And he's not just the best player in baseball. Now he's probably the best player in baseball since I don't even know how long. And it's like I said, that is such an incredible amount of money. And like I said, but what's even crazier is that, like I said, he fucking deserves it. You know, Mike Trout, for everyone that's saying, you know, I know there's the joke where it's like, oh, if I was walking down the street and you asked me to point out Mike Trout, I wouldn't be able to. And I get that, because that's a whole nother story or a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, as far as the popularity of baseball and this and that, and how there's no salary cap, and there's more sports that are more popular, and like basketball, football, and they don't have a salary cap, and I get it. But goddamn, dude, Mike Trout is so fucking good at baseball. It's unfreaking believable. He passes all the tests when it comes to baseball. There's literally nothing that he is bad at. He passes the eye test. Like, when you know, there's always the people who there's like, oh, they're good on paper, but when they're out there on the field, you're like, are you sure? It's like, this guy's like one of the highly, sought after players. But that's Mike Trout. He just, when you see him, he's the best player in baseball. He has all the old school stats, that he dominates all the old school stats, like home runs, RBIs, batting average, OPS, slugging percentage. You know what I mean? Like all that. And then the not just at bat, but in the field, he has all these crazy put out numbers. His defensive numbers are good, and it's not just the old school numbers, but he's also all the sabermetrics, all the Billy ball, the Billy Bean ball, all the advanced stats, where baseball has the most ridiculous advanced stats you've ever heard of. You know, there's like the WAR and the VORP and all that other crazy shit where it sounds like, what the hell are you doing? Are you speaking English to me right now? He's got all those stats, and like I said, again, not just on offense but on defense, and he's just the fucking best, man. And we are really, really witnessing greatness as it's happening. And it sucks that he's being wasted away so far on the shitty ass Angels. But he re-signed for a reason. He re-signed with them for a reason. And whatever they're selling him, he's buying. I don't know what that plan is so far, but whatever they're selling, he's buying, because that is a huge, massive commitment to that he's making to the team. And they're already starting they got a new skipper in town. Mike Scioscia is no longer there. They brought in Brad Ausmus, and so that's the first step of it. I don't know what Artie Moreno and the rest of the guys have in store for the team in the future, but I mean, we're definitely going to find out, because they better get it right, because it would really, really, really suck to see a player, a literal once in a generation. We talk about once in a generation kind of player all the time, and I personally feel like it gets thrown around too much, and too many different people and athletes over the years have been undeservedly given that title. But this guy is legitimately the once in a generation type player, type talent, that we probably won't see for like another 50 something years or something like that. So Mike Trout, like I said, deserves it. Literally all the money in the world, pretty damn close to it, $430 million. So yeah, that's I guess your Angels news for the week or for the month or for the however because I don't really talk about the Angels that much. There's your Angels news for everyone out there wondering why I don't talk about the Angels. Now on to the Dodgers. Sticking with baseball. Trying to be positive here, really trying to be positive, but they're not full on injuries yet, but definitely red flags as Clayton Kershaw. And not just Clayton Kershaw, but Rich Hill as well, their number 1 and number 2 guys, won't be ready for opening day. I know it's more, they're talking about it more as just like a maintenance thing where it's, they just want to take it easy. It's a long season. And I think it's kind of smart. I think so because they always put up great regular season numbers, but not so much in the postseason, specifically with Kershaw. Talked about it enough on this podcast. I'm not going to do it again. But I think it's better to have him go easy now because we all know what Kershaw can do. He doesn't have to prove anything. We all know what he's capable of. We all know what he can do, but just save it because it always feels like when his trend of progression for the season goes like he starts off hot and he goes for like a few months and then that's when it tails off. So might as well try to push it back a little bit to get him to be peaking at the right moment, like right around the playoff time. And if that's their philosophy, hopefully it works. Might as well try something new because what they've been doing for the last 5 years or so has not been working. And also, like I said, I just hope it's nothing serious and they just want to just do a little load management with Kershaw this year. Same thing with Rich Hill. I know he's got some some uncomfortableness. Is that even a word? Uncomfortableness in his arm. So, like I said, just both guys, they're number 1 and number 2 respectively. So, like I said, I'd rather be safe than sorry. It's the beginning of the year, and I know, all the games matter every single time. But like I said, I would rather be safe than sorry with that. So, opening day starter this year will not be Clayton Kershaw, which seems like for the first time in forever. But instead, it will be Hyunjin Ryu, who pitched very, very well when he came back the second half of the season or the latter half of the season. So hopefully he can continue that momentum he had at the end last year and start the season off right. And all this baseball talk, just getting me really, really excited for the season. It really felt like the season crept up on everybody this year. Because I think opening day is next week, if I'm not mistaken. So, I'm very excited. Baseball, for those of you who are new to the pod or new listeners or whatever don't know, baseball is my first love. That's my first love, that sport that I love. I started playing when I was 4 years old, and I played every kind of baseball imaginable all the way up until my high school years. And like I said, it's honestly, like, I love baseball so fucking much. And there are like 160 something regular season games, and I can honestly watch every inning of every single one of them. So I'm just happy baseball's back. And last thing about baseball, if anyone out there that's listening is in need of any extra person in any fantasy baseball league, hit me up because I'm your man. I'm trying to play this year again. I haven't played in a while. Haven't really played in a while, but I really want to play again this year. So I'm going to be looking to join, like I said, any league. Like I said, if you need one, hit me up. So I'm down to play if you need somebody. So there's that. Yeah, just excited for baseball. And yeah, man, I can't wait. Let's go blue. And if you're an Angels fan out there, I'm sorry for you, but hey, I mean, good luck with Trout and good luck with Trout and Pujols. That's a whole lot of money for two guys. One of them deserving all of it. So there's that. Moving on now to the gridiron. Not directly on the gridiron, but I know everyone says it every year, but it really, really feels like this year's NFL free agency was nuts, with a lot of familiar faces in a lot of new places. Starting most notably with the Odell Beckham trade that felt like it came out of fucking nowhere, like way out of nowhere. And he was traded to the Cleveland Browns, who look like they're going to be really, really, really good. And they look like it happened just like that. You know what I mean? Just like that. They're going to be everyone's favorite team next year, both on and off the field. Obviously OBJ helps. Baker Mayfield coming on late last year is getting people really excited for them. Same thing. Nick Chubb looked really good last year. And now OBJ is going to be playing alongside his best friend off the field in Jarvis Landry. So, like I said, a lot of things to look forward to if you're a Cleveland Browns fan. So, them dogs got to eat. And like I said, we'll see how that goes. But I'm not going to go in depth on everybody because I'm pretty sure just when I say the name, you're going to know what they are and how they are. And just I'm going to list off some of the big free agents who are in new places now. After OBJ, which was a trade, not really a free agent thing, I know. But Le'Veon Bell is going to the Jets. They're finally getting their top guy that they've been wanting for a long time. But, I mean, that was probably one of the most Jetsy moves that we've seen in quite some time. Le'Veon Bell is going to the Jets. Earl Thomas is going to the Ravens. It's he's all the stuff that happened with Earl Thomas and the dispute that he's had with the Seahawks. That's been very public, so that's all out there. But he's was clearly ready to move on and get something, go to greener pastures. So he got his wish. Big Dick Nick Foles didn't want to get franchised by the Eagles. They didn't do it. So they mutually parted ways, and he is going to be quarterbacking for the Jaguars, who moved on from Blake Bortles, who went on and went all the way over to, who's going to be backing up Jared Goff now here in LA. And don't worry, I'll get to the Rams and the Raiders after, so don't worry. I'm just going to go through everyone else first. But yeah, we'll see if the Jaguars can catch some of that big dick energy from Nick Foles. I don't know, though. We'll have to see. Landon Collins going on to the Skins over in Washington. Sure, I guess. I guess. Clinton Dix going over to the Bears, boosting up their defense as if their defense needed to get any better. Like I said, they just got a great player in Clinton Dix. I know he wasn't playing as well as he was in the last couple of seasons with Green Bay, but Green Bay really, really cleaning house over there. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty awkward or pretty rough. It looks like for Green Bay for the next few seasons as they try to rebuild. It looks like they're trying to rebuild. They're cutting ties with a lot of players. One of them going to the Rams, which I'll get to, and like I said, a lot of good players who have a lot of life left in them. And so, like I said, hopefully they can take advantage of it. Who else? Justin Houston going to the Colts. Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu going to the Chiefs after they released Eric Berry. Like I said, just you got to, as much stuff as Eric Berry's gone through in his career, it was just time, and it's just a business. It's really a business decision, and it's just tough to keep him on. He's really got to get his health in order and stuff like that. And best of luck to Eric Berry. I don't know. I'm sure he's gonna land on his feet. He's just, like I said, got to get his health in order first. And if anyone's a fighter and anyone's tough and can do it, it's him. So like I said, good luck to him. And Chiefs got themselves a good one in Honey Badger. Like I said, same thing is kind of like with Clinton Dix. Just didn't really work out. Things didn't really work out in Houston with him. He was still good, but just not like on the Honey Badger level hype that he had before. So maybe just a news change of scenery will change things for him. Hopefully not so much because we're in the AFC West against the Raiders. So there's that. And then even though I hate the Niners, I really like a lot of these two moves that they made. They signed Tevin Coleman from the Falcons, and they also got Quan Alexander from the Buccaneers, who are both two really good guys who were just in kind of weird situations. Tevin Coleman, you knew was good, but there was just that three-headed monster attack that they had down there in Atlanta, and it's just this is going to be his opportunity to shine. Quan Alexander is a really, really, really good linebacker who just happened to get hurt at the wrong time, like the absolute wrong time. But they're taking a gamble on him. John Lynch obviously really likes him. There could be that Buccaneers connection. I don't know. But Quan Alexander is really good, and their defense is already pretty good, and it's just got a lot better getting him. And I think they got someone else too, where they extended whoever else they had. It was a really good linebacker, and they're going to be getting Jimmy Garoppolo back. I think he's going to be ready for the start of the season, so they're going to be looking really good, and they're definitely going to be coming for that top spot in the NFC West, looking to challenge the Rams and the Seahawks. Who else rounding it out? We got Golden Tate going to the Giants. Now, I thought that the Rams should have really pushed hard to try and get Golden Tate. I know Bill Simmons on his podcast has talked about the Patriots trying to push hard for him because I thought it's just like he's just a sure-handed guy. Just can make big plays. He's been in the playoffs before. He's a veteran, a savvy veteran. Like I said, just gets it done. But stuff I've been seeing is a lot. He just, as much as, like I said, for me at least, when he passes the eye test, a lot of like advanced football stats or whatever say he's not that great anymore. And so that's one of those situations where it's like, I don't know. It's like, do I trust myself or do I trust the numbers? I don't know. So we'll be interested in seeing that. But then the only thing is the Giants did give him a massive contract, considering that the numbers say that he's not that great anymore. So maybe, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. And then Sizzle, Terrell Suggs went to the Cardinals. Looks like he's probably just going to finish his career there because he did go to Arizona State, if I'm familiar. So like I said, that sounds like he's bringing it all full circle, that kind of story. And Randall Cobb, another Green Bay defector, going to the Cowboys. So like I said, a lot of familiar faces in a lot of new places. But that's just the way that the NFL free agency works, and the way that they agreed on it. And getting with the two big teams here, the Rams. Start with the Rams. Big free agent acquisition, getting Clay Matthews from the Packers. From what I'm hearing, it says that he turned down bigger offers so he can come down here to play, which is good. I know he hasn't been the Pro Bowl dynamic guy that he's been in the past, like when they were making the Super Bowl runs in like the later 2000s and early 2010s, whatever. But he's still got a lot of life left in him, and I love him coming here on the contract they gave him, 2 years, $10 million. Like I said, it feels like he's got about that much left in the tank to give really high quality football. And again, this is another thing where it's like it just feels like he needed another change of scenery in order to just just try something new. And like I said, he's coming back home. He's from LA. From the LA area. He went to USC legend. So like I said, it's gonna be good to have him back here. So I really love that acquisition. I really, really like the Eric Weddle acquisition they got. They've had to the Rams have had to restructure a lot of things because they really went all in last year on these players and on these small deals, and then they were going to have to extend a lot of guys. So I really like that they got Clay Matthews and Eric Weddle on smaller, on shorter term contracts for a little bit less money than they could get from a different team, but they just wanted to come here and play. Eric Weddle's, like I said, another guy who feels like is past his prime, but still has a lot of life left in him. A great veteran, just like I said, can really take leadership of that defense. We got Aaron Donald on the front end, and you can have a veteran like Eric Wood on the back end with another great veteran like Clay Matthews up there in the middle. So that's, like I said, really like those signings. The Blake Bortles one as well. Sure, like they just need it. It's just he's gonna just be a backup, but as much shit as Blake Bortles gets, he has been there before. He's obviously been in the playoffs, and he had some success, a little bit relative success. And I just like him as a good signing, as a good quality backup. You know what I mean? You always need those just in case. And the Rams have definitely not had that in the past. And then they also got Malcolm Brown, cornerback. So that's that just kind of like I said, just fill the roster. And now with the Oakland. Still technically Oakland, I guess, going to be playing in Oakland again. So, I was very emotional when I saw them in Oakland because I thought it was going to be the first and only time there. So maybe I might get another chance to go. So I'll probably do that. Looks like I'm going to be playing Oakland again. But the Raiders obviously made the biggest free agent. It wasn't a free agent signing. It was another trade. Trading some picks and stuff away for Antonio Brown. All the stuff that's been going on with him, not wanting to play on the Steelers and all that, finally came to a head, and he got his wish. He's out of there, and this felt like the trade that was going to happen. Everyone kind of thought this was going to happen. And so Antonio Brown is officially an Oakland Raider, and he's on a pretty big deal. Pretty big deal. I think he's the highest paid wide receiver in the league right now. So there's that. And like I said, it's just it's just, I know a lot of the character issues are going to be obviously the big thing everyone's going to be talking about, like stuff like that, and the off the field antics and all that stuff that whatever, that's going to be the big talking point with him. But he just really didn't want to be there anymore, and he just was trying to control his own destiny. So I don't fault him for that. And it just like I said, hopefully it's just one of those classics. This just turned out to be one of those classic situations where it's just a guy just needed to change the scenery, and hopefully that's the case here, because Antonio Brown is without a doubt arguably one of, if not the best receivers in the league. He's putting up ridiculous numbers for a reason, and hopefully like I said, him and Derek Carr can have a nice little connection and a nice little thing. But if anyone can do it, it's Derek Carr. He's just the ultimate teammate, the ultimate kind of quarterback that you would want on your team, that'll just make everything work around him and really be enthusiastic about it. You've already seen the videos or whatever, this bullshit where he went to his house and they're already thrown together and stuff like that. So hopefully they can have a great relationship, and hopefully he can have a great relationship with the team, and helps get them back to their winning ways they had a couple seasons ago. So there's that. And then the other names they got, they signed Trent Brown from the Patriots, who they also gave a really, really, really big deal. I think he's the highest paid lineman in the league now. So, like I said, they're gonna need it because they traded away Osemele, who was arguably one of their best linemen. But like I said, they got a good one filling in, so hopefully he can have an immediate impact. And then they also signed, most notably, Vontaze Burfict. Speaking of character issues, Vontaze Burfict, who has all his on the field antics and all that stuff, and hopefully, even though it seems like there was no better fitting player team matchup like Vontaze Burfict on the Raiders, hopefully he can try to curb a lot of those stupid personal foul penalties that'll help cost teams, and be a positive impact on the field, because when he's not doing all those crazy things, Vontaze Burfict is one of the best linebackers in the league. He is just has a natural nose for the ball, almost too much so, some would argue, obviously with all his his helmet to helmet hits and all that stuff, but hopefully he can. I mean, we need help at linebacker. We really, really do. So, like I said, he's a proven veteran, and like I said, hopefully he can bring a little toughness, hopefully not too much crazy toughness, but he can bring some toughness to the team and anchor that defense. And then, like I said, also adding to the team, they got Tyrell Williams, receiver from the Chargers. They gave him a big deal. I felt like it was kind of big. Saw his highlights. Obviously, they're highlights, so they're going to be good plays and not anything bad. But they do need some help at receiver. It's going to be a nice little pairing. AB, Tyrell Williams. You still got Seth Roberts. They let Jared Cook go, so I don't know what they're going to do there to fill in. I know their backup was that really big-ass white dude, and he was more of a blocking type guy, so they're still, I think if they kept Jared Cook, that would have been good as like a really, really, really good dynamic receiving core. But, I don't know what's going to happen there. I still think they need to address their need at running back. They don't really have a solid guy back there, other than obviously Marshawn Lynch, but he's been, had his injury issues and stuff like that, and he didn't play like pretty much last half, a little more of last season. So we'll have to see how that goes. And then they also signed other guys. They signed LaMarcus Joyner, good pickup for the secondary. Like I said, hopefully he can help anchor our defense a little bit with Vontaze Burfict, because they need a lot of help. And they also got J.J. Nelson and Nevin Lawson, two other guys who are just going to be on the roster on the team. So, very optimistic. I really, really like what the Rams did. I mean, I like what the Raiders did. They had to do something. The only thing that is a little, not like upsetting with the Raiders for me, but it's just kind of like, last year they let Khalil Mack go and they traded Amari Cooper because the logic that they were not directly pushing, but we're saying was, listen, we're going to acquire all these picks and trade assets and all these different things because we're going to try to rebuild, and we're in this rebuilding phase. That way, when we get to Vegas, we'll be have kind of like a set in stone kind of thing, or we'll contend in whatever kind of thing, which is fine. That's a fine philosophy to have. I get it. It's a new coach. You're gonna want to do what you want to do, get players that you like, whatever. Even though I've been very, very, very vocal on this podcast about how upset I was about both of those trades, specifically the Khalil Mack one. But if that's the agenda you're pushing, that we're trying to build in the draft and get these different things for the future, trading for a guy like Antonio Brown, throwing a lot of money at Trent Brown and Tyrell Williams, really makes me scratch my head, because it's like, I thought we were building for the future, but are we building now? It seems like you're making it seem like we're building for now. Like, what's going on here? I don't know. Just a lot of questions, with this Raiders team ever since John Gruden's been here. So, like I said, it's just a lot of questions on what are we doing? What's our philosophy for the team going forward? No one really knows. And on top of that, where are they going to play this year? Like I said at the beginning, I think it looks like they're going to be playing in Oakland again. But still, even then, no one's really sure. So like I said, we'll just have to see. But just like everything else about this podcast and everything else I am with sports, even though it gets me, I get hot, I get upset, I get a little hot and bothered about things, I have to be optimistic. And like I said, we'll just gonna have to wait and see. So free agency's not done yet. Like I said, I still think the Raiders got a lot of work to do on defense and in the backfield. Rams, they got to do what they got to do to make the numbers work, considering how much stuff they got to let players they had to let go. Like I said, Ndamukong Suh is still a free agent. I don't think they're going to extend him. Someone's going to, though. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing with that. And then on top of that, don't forget they still have to do something with Jared Goff, and I don't know what they're going to do or when it's going to happen. So yeah, there is that. And let's round things out here. The last couple things. Lakers, not much to talk about here. Pretty much punting on the season now. And, if you weren't so sure about it, once they signed Andre Ingram again, that's how you knew it was over. Nothing against Andre Ingram. It's a great story and all that, great feel-good story. Would make a real good E60 segment, but it's also, that's the Lakers' unofficial way of, you can see the subtext of them waving the white flag and this shit's over. So, this season's, pretty much over. Like I said, they signed Andre Ingram. They shut down Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball for the season. Lonzo, obviously, still recovering from that really, really bad ankle sprain. And then Brandon Ingram had the DVT, which, for those of you who are unaware of, is deep vein thrombosis, and that is a very serious issue. No joking there, because if you're unaware, when people talk about blood clots, a DVT is a deep vein thrombosis is a blood clot, and when the blood clot is still anchored to a blood vessel, that is when it is a thrombosis. And when it breaks off and starts floating through your bloodstream, that's when it becomes an embolism or an embolus. And that's when you get things like pulmonary embolisms, like what in the case of what would happen with Chris Bosh. So it's a good thing that they recognize it as a thrombosis as opposed to an embolus. And I believe that he had surgery to get it successfully removed, and he should be good to go by the start of next season. So that's good to hear. Shouts out to Brandon Ingram. All joking aside and all bullshit that I talk about everything. This is not a laughing matter. These are very, very serious. And not to get grim here, but that is what ultimately took the life of Dr. Jerry Buss, was he had a pulmonary embolism or some kind of embolism. So very scary, very serious, and I'm glad it seems like everything is good as far as that goes. So there's that. But like I said, he shut down for the season. Lonzo shut down for the season. They're playing a lot more of the bench guys or whatever. Caruso's getting more minutes. Muscala's getting more minutes, which I still don't even know why we traded for him, because if you look across the hall at the Clippers, Zubac is playing so fucking good right now, and Clippers team is playing so fucking good right now. And I thought that they were gonna fall off after all those trades, and they have actually picked it up a lot. Lou Williams is looking like a goddamn beast. Probably gonna be 6th man of the year again. And they're just playing so well, and look for them to make some noise in the playoffs. And speaking of the playoffs, how poetic is it that the guy that the Lakers gave up on, and I know at the time it was for good reasons, and looking back on it, hindsight from 2020, yes, it was good reasons to give up on him. But tonight, D'Angelo Russell and the Nets have a chance to officially knock the Lakers out of playoff contention. Probably going to happen because the Nets, who I mentioned, by the way, on this podcast, or predicted to be one of the better teams in the East, have, obviously the way that the Kings have been playing lately, it's the Nets are a clear front runner of the darling star surprise team of the year. It looks like it's going to happen. They're probably going to knock them out. And like I said, I know people are going to be like, well, how are you going to know that the D'Lo was going to be this good? Blah, 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 blah. It's like, listen, whatever. Like I said, it was justified to let him go because his usage rate was really high. And he was taking a lot of kind of sus shots and stuff like that, and didn't play a lot of defense. And I get it. Plus, he was only 19 or 20. I get it. It's one thing to move on from the guy. It's another thing when you sneak diss him on the way out and you try to give a lot of these backhanded compliments and stuff like that, like what Magic Johnson did to him on the way out. That's where it not crossed the line, but that's where the difference is. When he went there with all the comments he made after they traded him. So yeah, there's that. Not, like I said, not going to be much Lakers talk unless, stuff happens, I guess, going forward. Like I said, they're probably going to lose tonight, and be officially out of the playoffs. So I got my tea right here with me, and here's to hoping that the Lakers get a good draft pick in the draft this year. So we'll have to We'll have to see about that. And rounding things off here, just quickly with the WWE, the WrestleMania card and the matches, they should be good. Like on paper, this thing is so far the way it's shaping up. It should be good. I think I mentioned this before, but this is just so far the process of getting there, as far as like the way that they're building the storylines and stuff goes, needs a lot of work. I really like what they're doing on SmackDown though with Kofi Kingston and Daniel Bryan, or just the Kofi Kingston story as far as his come up story. But I've heard a lot of different things, and what the big thing that people are talking about is, will they have all these different baby faces win at different times at WrestleMania? Because it's nothing is set in stone, as we all know with WWE, but it feels like Seth Rollins is going to beat Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns is probably going to win in his comeback match. Who is it? Becky Lynch, the one everybody wants, is going to probably should and probably will win the women's title. The Raw Women's title from Ronda Rousey, which that whole storyline is a whole nother can of worms. It's like, will they have all these guys? So it feels like if they're all going to want to win, but it's like, does that mean Kofi doesn't win, or does he win? That'd be so. Like I said, there's that thing going on. So like I said, there's still few more weeks left for them to build the storyline up. They did a great job on last week's SmackDown with him in the gauntlet match and all that. So, like I said, it's getting there. I like the Batista Triple H. I like the way it started, that storyline. I don't know. They've kind of tailed off a little bit. Hopefully they don't give them some long, ridiculous match, and it's just, it's a good, solid 15, 20-minute match, nothing like 30, 40 minutes, whatever. So hopefully there's that. And I think I'm going to do a WrestleMania fantasy booking pod episode, like where I just have like a lot of like crazy, like I throw it, not necessarily fantasy booking where like I predict it, but just like I have like all these, I kind of have all these, been having all these crazy ideas in my head. So I guess it is a fantasy book, whatever. Anyway, I've had all these crazy ideas and stuff about where I think they'll go with the different storylines or what they'll do after WrestleMania and stuff like that going forward. So I feel like I might just get a pod for just specifically on that. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And let's see. That's about it. I kind of felt like I got through everything that happened these last couple weeks. And like I said, so I apologize again for not getting it out last week or anything like that. And I'll try to get back on course for the next, going forward. So yeah, that's it. New Music Friday. I have that too. Tame Impala just dropped a new single called Patience. That shit is big fire, like anything from Tame Impala. Flume also dropped his new mixtape. It's a mixtape, but it's not really a mixtape because it's available on all these different platforms. Anyway, that's beside the fact. That shit is fucking big fire, and that shit is fucking crazy. And whatever shit that Flume was taking when he made this mixtape, like what is it? Hi, my name is Flume. Whatever shit he's taking, can someone find out for me what that shit was and let me get my motherfucking hands on some of that shit, because that shit is crazy. Not just the music, which sounds like someone took like Flume and Carmack and other shit like that and put that shit on acid or whatever. And it's not just the actual music itself, but the visuals that he dropped with it are just fucking crazy, like just out of control stuff, and it's really, really good. So that's cool. And then that's it for me now. So yeah, like always, everybody, thank you for listening. Big love for all the listeners out there, all the supporters, and all the homies out there that are showing love. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts: SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn. I know I've been talking about getting my YouTube content popping. I know, but and it hasn't happened yet. I apologize, but please subscribe because it's coming down the chute. It is coming. Trust me. Okay, I'm still working on it. I'm still brainstorming it and workshopping all that stuff. But follow along. It's going to be there. And if you want to follow along, if you want to follow my journey on social media, or if you just want to yell at me about some of the stuff that I've been saying, follow along on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, all that good stuff. You can look me up, Brown Mamba Radio, Brown Mamba, or my personal account name, JXCKSXNNN. That's 3 N's, because I'm still trying to get in contact with the guy who has 1 N so I can take that shit. But yeah, there's that. And of course, you can find everything in the Brown Mamba universe at brownmamba.co. No longer brownmamba.us. Get rid of that. Change your favorited, change your number one favorited tab on your browsers from brownmamba.us to brownmamba.co. It's just a new URL, same site. I updated it a little bit, same site. Everything's about the same. Brownmamba.co. So yeah, follow along with that. And today I will be playing you guys out to the song that I've been bumping non-fucking stop lately. It's a throwback. It's a classic, and I think it's a perfect song to set the mood for the weekend, to play you guys out on having a good weekend. The song is Shalimar. It's for the lover in you. It is a classic. If you don't know that by name, you definitely know the groove. So I'm going to play you guys out to some of that. And like always, everybody, don't just have a good weekend. Make it a good weekend. Drink more water, because health is wealth. And please be kind to each other. Please, everybody out there, because it's so easy to be nice. And don't think I forgot. Good luck to everybody on their brackets during this March Madness season. A couple of them already got busted yesterday, I believe. And, hopefully your bracket doesn't get busted up too much. So, good luck to everybody out there. And like always, I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
It's got to be real. Girl, I could write a book on how you're making me feel. I know I'll never find another